Hey guys, welcome back to, well, let me just move my microphone a little bit closer. Welcome back to another episode of my Beginner to Pro series, and we're on episode 1 of my Assassin PPE. However, this has been recorded after roughly about 2 hours of playing on my Assassin. What does he want? But yeah, we are about 2 hours, or like 2 and 2.3 hours, or 2 and 1/3 hours into, or 2 and 1/3 hours into the series. The reason why I'm recording this not on a live stream highlight is because I'll leave a link to the full live stream in the description below. So if you want to watch like the first 2 hours of what happened. But the reason why I decided to record a standalone episode after not like the initial parts was because I kind of got into a lot of very heavy discussion, and I know the whole purpose of my channel is sort of deep discussion, but by heavy I'm referring to something that would elicit a little bit more of a, I guess, emotional response from people. And so therefore I feel like it's not exactly the kind of, you know, conversation I want to put on my channel, because I like to keep things pretty lighthearted, and if it is deep, it's more for the sake of dialogue and philosophy, not so much for discussion and debate. Anyways, we are beginning my Assassin PPE. Okay, so some people have contested what my definition of a PPE is. Like, I'm still thinking about it, because on one hand, this is not a PPE series, this is a Beginner to Pro series, where I basically, just between my Assassin and my Archer, where is he? Wait, where the hell is he? There he is. Between my Assassin and my Archer, these are all the items I have access to. Technically speaking, I am allowed to trade because I'm acting under the assumption that the only thing that this account has aside from my pet, which is why I call it a PPE, is because I do plan to exchange between the characters that I create specifically for this series. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to just make everything a PPE. I feel like it'd be more fun. Like, I just denied from Disducto that I don't want the Bane Serpent Poison, and I'm pretty certain I have never earned a Bane Serpent Poison on my Archer, so that's why I declined it. But let me know your thoughts if you think it's okay for me to exchange between the characters I make for the series, or if each individual character should just have their own inventory and nothing else. But we're gonna kind of go at it the exact same way we did for the Archer, just on a different class. During my initial stream, I managed to get 11-4, 11-4. Fortunately, because of the Haunted Cemetery event, they give T11 weapons, which is nice, and T11 armors, as well as T4 ability and ring. It's currently the Cursed Library and Davy Jones' Locker event, so I want to get my hands on the Spectral Cloth armor, maybe the Revenant ring if I can, and more importantly, the Spirit Dagger, because the Spirit Dagger is essentially a more fluctuating RNG-based foul. I'll get a foul later. D-Dox, actually, that might not be a bad idea. Where is it? And we're doing a whole bunch of dungeon popping anyway because people are getting ready for mod make. So what I'm doing for the time being is just capitalizing on it for my, while I'm farming for marks, I might as well play for the series. So this episode will be a live commentary, but I will go back to streaming once mod make starts, and of course I get kicked out. Feels bad. Okay, Cursed Library, we'll start off with that. Now, I guess I can kind of make this a similar episode to how I would do a chest popping series, where I just do sort of random commentary while I play, except while instead of popping chests, I'll just be running for dungeons. So this is super convenient for me because with the Cursed Library and Davy Jones event, I can max out my attack, wisdom, and vitality quickly. And given that Assassin doesn't have really too many stats that it has to worry about too much, with the exception of perhaps, I think they just got baited, I can definitely max out my character relatively quickly, and then we'll go for Lost Halls to max out HP and MP. Fortunately, the Cemetery event comes with a lot of speed, so I got my Assassin to 70 speed already. Unpopular opinion, I like Assassin. I generally hate daggers, dagger classes, just because I feel like I'm not really a fan of classes that rely on, you know, underhanded tactics and stuff like that. I've always been a rogue person, but for MMOs and such, but I enjoy rogues that are more about like attacking really fast and, you know, frontal assaults, not so much being tricky like Trickster or Rogue. And while Assassin is still kind of like a tricky kind of class, his ability is a DPS focused ability, and in my opinion, one of the most versatile if you use it correctly. So that's why I'm saving it, because I thought Assassin might be the best choice, since I'm actually kind of short on Assassin. Wait, where's the chest? Why is it over here? Okay. Oh, and we're chaining. Lovely. Why are there 72 people? Did you guys notice that? Why do people gather in US East or like EU West or EU East? Why can't they just go to a server that isn't laggy? Although, then again, if there are a good number of people, eventually it will start lagging. Deca needs to increase the capacity of the servers. Something tells me they're not allocating enough RAM or processor for each one. What topic do I want to talk about today? Oh, I can talk about school. So online classes started for me a couple weeks ago. I hate it. I really hate it. I thought it would be okay. Like, I already knew. I was feeling I wasn't feeling too enthusiastic about online classes because I know, as a gamer, you might find this extremely surprising, but I actually value the quality of my education. And I would rather be at class. What? Oh, Necro. I've never gotten a Necronomicon before. Are they even good? I mean, I've never gotten one, so I'll take it. What the heck? But yeah, I'm not really enjoying school right now. I can put up with it because fortunately the classes I'm taking are not very in-person intensive. With the exception of one. It's a class called it's a class called Historical Simulations. I took Intro to Historical Simulations last year during the summer when I was taking summer classes. That one, it would have been nice because we actually, the easiest way to describe the class is that we play board games. That's basically it. We play a lot of war games, a lot of games about history, so World War II, Revolutionary War, Civil War, Greco-Persian Wars, and stuff like that. And we learn a lot about how board games and games in general contributed towards certain events in history, which I think is a great idea. Whoops, I need to keep that in the bag, drink it there. Where's the chest? Up here? But fortunately we were able to download Tabletop Simulator on Steam, and we're gonna play through that instead, and just online renditions of those kinds of games. But the rest of my classes, let's see, we're taking Creative Seminar. It's sort of a capstone project, so you get to work on just about anything that really suits your passions, and for me, one of the goals I have for this semester is to create a feature-length video essay. I've always wanted to try one, and I figured, why not? As for my other two classes, I have Intro to Graphic Design, which I'm taking as a requirement because of my Writing and Communications dual major. I think that's a Game Simulations Arts and Science. If you guys watch some of my older videos, you know what my college degree or my college majors are. I'm taking that, which I'm not that interested in. It focuses a lot on basic graphic design such as Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, Lightroom, things like that. And I guess it's good information to know, but once again, most of my thumbnails, if not all of my thumbnails, are done by Jake. So he takes care of that, and he's been taking care of that for the past 5 years or so. Last class is Creative Writing Short Story, which I definitely am looking forward to. Although, see, there's an issue with writing classes in that the teacher tends to be quite biased. Like, almost all writing classes I've taken that focused on personal writing, not so much writing for a newspaper or writing for business letters and stuff like that, but for personal writing, short stories or novels or essays, what have you, the teachers tend to be very biased with what kind of things that they would like you to write. They tell you that you can write anything you want, but normally they would say, oh, I really like mystery, or let's talk about, some of them even get really political, which I'm not a fan of, and this teacher in particular is a little bit on the political side and like social justice side, and I just hope she doesn't make it a big problem for the class. But I would say the two classes in particular I'm looking forward to are Creative Seminar and Historical Simulations, both of which have two of my favorite professors I've ever had in my life, so I have no complaints there. It's just overall, the reason why you go to a restaurant, you go there for the ambiance, you go there for the mood, right? You go there for the ability to socialize or to get into that sort of, it's certain instances, while there's nothing wrong with cooking and enjoying a homemade meal with friends at home, You go there because, again, the experience, right? You go to a gym, even though you can very easily work at home, you can go work out at a gym, because most people go to the gym to sort of get themselves into that kind of like the atmosphere, the vibe that comes out from going to a fitness center or someplace like that, a wellness center or a wellness facility, someplace like that. People do that because the environment that you're in plays a huge part, right, in getting yourself the motivation and the energy to do something, especially if that something involves a lot of effort or it can be maybe perhaps a little tedious. And in spite of sort of 80% of the student body in any learning environment or in any institution or education not really enjoying school, myself included, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want to be in the classroom, because there are certain instances where I feel like you need to be in the classroom to get into the mindset, build up that mentality, or to get yourself in the zone. You know what I'm talking about? Which is why I have no real problem with going to class, especially because my classes are very project oriented, so a lot of hands-on work and stuff like that. And I thoroughly enjoy a physical interaction with my professor and with my classmates. I dislike, there's a troom, whatever. So I just dislike having to take online classes, because while I get to, let's say, sleep in, or I get to stay in my pajamas, or I don't have to go through the morning commute, I feel like I'm not getting the same kind of experience as I would if I were in the actual classroom. That being said, we're still paying the full tuition price, even though we have no access to the resources, to the campus, to the faculty. I mean, I'm sure we could do like a video call if we want office hours, but generally speaking, I just think it's a waste of time. I was contemplating taking a gap year because I thought to myself, my education, or the quality of my education, is very important to me, and so I would like to have the best bang for my buck, so to speak, and get like the best education I could. So I would wait until COVID blew over and then I would go back to school. However, when I asked a lot of my classmates about it, a lot of my friends, if they were willing to do the same thing too, because I didn't want to graduate alone. I'd be graduating with the junior class, and I don't have that many friends from junior class. In fact, I had most of my friends who were either in my class or in older classes or upper classes. And because I'm a senior, there are no more upper classes. I am the upper class. The reason why they can't is because naturally a lot of them have financial aid or student loans and whatnot. There's a stipulation that if you stop going to school, even if you don't complete your degree, you have to start paying off those loans. So they can't really take a gap year unless they want to start paying up. Which means that I was like, alright, fine, I'll just get through it. I'll put up with it like everyone else is. I'm just not too happy about it. Let me know, by the way, how are you guys' online experiences going? Because I know that there are a lot of states and a lot of schools that do require in-person attendance, and I think that is the stupidest idea ever, because do you know how many kids or whatever have been tested positive for this? I've heard down south it's pretty bad with everyone going to school. The school is completely packed, no social distancing and whatnot. And yeah, that's yikes. Fortunately though, my school did allow me to learn remotely, so I'm chilling at home. Very comfortable, very relaxed. I don't really pay attention that much in class, as if I were like compared to being in the actual location. Anyways, enough about that. I think for the most part, I don't think I can get anything out of it. I'm pretty sure Davy doesn't drop tier 5 or tier 5 abilities. If they do, that'd be great. Or no, actually, I'm pretty certain I've picked up an exalted HP before. But I think for my assassin, a priority of mine is not actually to get a health ring, it's to get a mana ring. I would love to get a hive mind circlet if I can. Or, oh, what the? Okay, back-to-back shrooms. I'll take it. Well, they drop Cyan back, so maybe I can get a T5 ability. I love using the poison. Sometimes I don't even bother attacking with my dagger. So if I could get a mana-oriented ring, I actually might consider prioritizing a Ring of the Sphinx, since that does give you 100 mana. And perhaps Harlequin armor. I did not get a chance to get the mantle from the cemetery, which is, I suppose, a little bit more mana driven, even though I prefer Harlequin because it gives you more speed, more defense. So I will be going after puppet theaters eventually. I guess one cool thing about the Assassin for people who've done Assassin PPs before is that Assassins, they have a lot of valuable items like daggers and poisons and armor pieces from a whole bunch of different dungeons. It's not like, for example, my Archer, where I spend most, if not all of my time farming Lost Halls. Assassin, you kind of have to like go everywhere to search. And I think that would make for a more exciting series. Plus, Assassins are faster, so I don't have to worry too much about full skipping because I play a little more defensively in Lost Halls if I play on an Archer, or when I played on my Archer because he was slower and he was really squishy. I know Assassins aren't that much more defensive, however they have more speed, so I don't have to worry too much about getting left behind or like have too difficult of a time dodging. Oh, I should get a backpack actually. Some people have different policies for backpacks. Like one party, they say that like you can only get it after 6-8. For me, I might just get a backpack right away because why not? I mean, I'm pretty sure tomorrow or tonight for the reset, we are getting 2 backpacks from the inventory or the attendance event anyway, so I don't think it matters. Where's my... there it is. So one thing I do want to get are 30 intern shards. I'm pretty sure I can get it because I think RotMG will introduce a bunch more. So if I get a bunch of intern shards, I'll get the Tyrant Toxin. The Tyrant Toxin is very, very good for an assassin. So while I'm recording this extremely laggy episode, I'm having a discussion with my friend about Second Amendment controversies. Oh, USS 4 is crowded. Let me check. Is this a key popping server? Yes? Maybe. I get so happy whenever a different server has key popping going on. Yes, alright, I'm pretty sure USS 4 is gonna start working. So we can finally stop lagging. Alright, so school topic aside, what else did I want to talk about? That's kind of all I had planned to discuss. Oh, Month of the Mad God, actually. That's a good idea. So, I don't know when I'm going to be uploading this video. Whoa, I took a lot of damage. I don't know when I'm going to be... Let's go! Hey, we got Spectral Claw. That's pretty much all I need for a while, actually. Anyways. I don't know when I'll be uploading this episode, but at the time of this recording, like recording right now, they released RotMG 2020 Reconstruction and trailer talk. So I want to watch it, or I want to read it right now while I'm doing this. Let's see. Okay, it looks like they're both videos. Are they both videos, or are they? Is there one that like that's verbal? Let me check. Oh, there's a verbal one. Okay, or not verbal. There's a written one. Let's see here. This is also a good chance to farm up on Davy marks because there's a bunch of Davy quests. Anyways, Month of the Mad God begins September 23rd. This year we're absolutely jam-packing it with content. I mean, you've always been doing that, right? I hope you're not lowering the standard. The headliner this time around is Reconstruction, as we enhance and modernize some of the game's oldest end content and features. Good, because that is something that I've been complaining about for a while. Not necessarily complaining, but when they released Ancient Ruins, I thought to myself, shouldn't Deca remaster or rework a whole bunch of the older dungeons that look very primitive, like Abyss of Demons, Undead Lair? Sprite World, I guess, can pass, but you know what I'm talking about. Some of the older dungeons, they look very plain, very bland, very, I suppose monotonous could be the right word. And so I hope that they made the effort to go back, and given the trailer that we saw with them putting up construction kind of caution cones and whatnot across a lot of the older dungeons, I felt like, okay, maybe they're finally going back and reworking a bunch of older dungeons. This is on top of brand new content too, like the Appetizer Realm event and High-Tech Terror, a ferocious new boss dungeon. All the new loot you get won't be getting lost in the depths of your vault either. Search categories and customize with the new unified vault interface. Goodness, I can't speak. Good. That's another thing. The current storage system is one of the worst user experience design things I've ever seen in my life. Maybe it would have passed back when, like, you know, in Congregate days in 2011, 2012, but now, no. This should have been done years ago. Replacing the dark ages of fishing through chest after chest or hopelessly scattered items, thank you. Even potions will be easier to stash and transfer between... Even potions? Oh, they're doing a separate potion storage system. That's perfect. Does this mean that we have like a potion vault? So if I have like 300 life pots, I can store them in there? That'd be really nice. Even though I have a lot of them, I also consider myself a hoarder when it comes to playing games, and so I never throw away anything unless I absolutely do not need it, like ever. But potions I always will have to, so. Okay, so you can get T5 abilities here. I should also mention that I plan to make a general video on how to get good at RotMG, but I suppose when you're watching this episode, a good tip that I have for players who are trying to get better at the game is take advantage of events. I know some of you might be very exhausted with chest popping servers and you wish that we can go back to the old days of farming for things the normal way, but while it exists, you should take advantage of it, right? That's the whole point of events, like the Davy event that's happening right now. Chances are, when I upload this episode, it will be past that, or like the event will be over. But when RotMG comes out, you should put your fullest effort in taking advantage of all the interesting and amazing perks and other stuff that they have. Because why not? Don't like neglect it or don't decline it out of a sense of pride, like, oh, I do things the old-fashioned way. Don't do that. Don't be stupid, right? If the technology exists, you should use it. So I guess I have to watch the trailer later, but I hope that they release some pretty good content to play with because I would like to. I mean, I find my interest in the game waning a little bit, and while that is expected for Realm, the one problem with Realm is that even though Deca has been releasing new content relatively consistently, Realm as a whole doesn't have that much relative to other MMOs, right? Like, it doesn't have nearly as much as Final Fantasy XIV, or not nearly, it has nowhere close to as much gameplay and content as Final Fantasy XIV or MapleStory or stuff because the companies are much smaller. I'm hoping RotMG will give me enough reason to want to continue playing as much as I can, since if you haven't noticed, I've been making more League content, and while I do enjoy League content a lot, I feel kind of guilty that I'm not making as much Realm content anymore, partly because school. So we'll see, we'll see. They said this is going to be one of the best, if not the best RotMG we've seen in a long time, or ever. So you have my interest peaked, at the very least. I don't know how long I want to record this episode for. We're at about half an hour, so I might end off the episode soon, because this was mostly just to be a beginner episode. Again, if you want to watch the full VOD on the first like 2.5 hours or 2.25 hours or 2.25 hours from on my Assassin, you can. There will be a link to the VOD in the description below. I just felt like A, I was talking about something relatively sensitive, and B, we were just getting through most of the tedious stuff and it was mostly a cemetery grind the entire stream, so you didn't miss much. I was just maxing out my speed and getting my initial stats out of the way. Wisdom is almost maxed out, speed and vitality are on the way too. I can max out attack as well from Davy. But yeah, I suppose after I finish this dungeon, or this chain, we're gonna call it a day for the episode, and I'll get back to you later on, you know, more future episodes, and I will start streaming again if I can, if I find the time to, for Realm during RotMG. I'll be taking full advantage of it on my Assassin. Oh yeah, I'm also concerned about how what kind of changes they made for the Vital Combat system, because you've already seen my video on my thoughts, so I don't think I need to really reiterate it. But yeah, I just hope Deca knows what they're doing, because they need to be very careful about this whole thing. Ooh, ouch. I forgot, I don't have much defense. I don't know if he's gonna keep chaining. If he keeps chaining, I'll continue the episode until he's done with the chain, or if we're resetting. There we go! I pressed Nexus. You even heard my keyboard pressing the Nexus key. Come on, man. Well, I guess I'll have to redo. Gosh, dang it. Okay, fine. I pressed the Nexus key. Come on, you heard my keyboard before I died. That's messed up. Fine. Alright, you know what? We weren't that far into it anyway, so I'll just make another one. And I just used a backpack too, man. That sucks. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. In the next episode, hopefully I need to make an episode 1.5 now. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you have, a rating would be much appreciated, and I'll make another Assassin and start over. I'll do a lot of off-screen stuff. I'll record everything so that if I get any interesting drops, I'll prove to you that I got it legitimately, but yeah. Alright, screw this game. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon for the next video. Take care.